What if I told you that Order 66 didn't happen all at once? That while you watched Ki-Adi-Mundi die first in the movie, he actually died fourth. That some Jedi had 7 whole minutes to prepare, while others had 0 warning. Most fans think they know Order 66. You've seen the movie. You've watched Clone Wars, but you've never seen the real timeline. The minute-by-minute breakdown that reveals why some Jedi lived and others died. Why Yoda survived, but Aayla Secura didn't. And why timing mattered more than power. I pieced together every moment to show how one order shattered the Jedi. Not all at once, but over minutes that changed everything. And what I found will completely change how you see the greatest military operation in galactic history. Here's what most people think they know about Order 66. Palpatine says 3 words.
Execute Order 66.
Jedi die everywhere at once. Empire wins. Wrong. The truth is way more complex. See, Order 66 wasn't random chaos. It was a perfectly timed symphony of death. Each betrayal happened in a specific sequence. Each death served a purpose. And understanding that sequence, it reveals just how brilliant Palpatine's plan really was. I'm about to show you something no one has ever put together before. The complete chronological timeline of Order 66, every major death. And by the end of this video, you'll know 3 things. First, why the timing of each death wasn't random. Second, how Palpatine's plan was even more genius than you thought. And third, which Jedi actually had the best shot at survival based on pure timing and location. Ready? Let's dive in. The truth is this, Order 66 took between 4 to 7 minutes to reach every corner of the galaxy. And those minutes mattered more than you think. And that timing difference, it's the reason some Jedi lived and others died. Let me paint you the picture. It's evening on Coruscant. Palpatine has just killed Mace Windu. Anakin is kneeling before him as the new Darth Vader. Now watch this carefully. Palpatine doesn't immediately grab his communicator. He takes 2.5 minutes to compose himself. He smooths his robes. He sits down at his desk. Why the delay? Because he's not just giving an order, he's conducting an orchestra. The HoloNet transmission system works like this. Core worlds get the signal first. Mid-rim worlds get it 3 to 5 minutes later. Outer rim territories, 6 to 7 minutes. Think of it like dropping a stone. In water, the ripples spread outward. But here's the genius part. Palpatine timed this perfectly. He knew Obi-Wan was on Utapau, a mid-rim world. He knew Yoda was on Kashyyyk, an outer rim planet. He knew exactly how long each transmission would take. And here's where it gets really dark. The transmission delays created a hierarchy of death. Some Jedi were always going to die first. Core World Jedi had 0 chance. Mid-Rim Jedi had seconds to react. Outer Rim Jedi had the best odds. Let me show you the exact sequence. Coruscant at 0 minutes after transmission. On Utapau, 4 minutes, 12 seconds after the transmission. Felucia, 4 minutes, 31 seconds after transmission. Mygeeto, 4 minutes, 45 seconds after transmission. On Cato Neimoidia, 5 minutes, 8 seconds after. On Kashyyyk, 6 minutes, 5 seconds after transmission. And on Kalar, 7 minutes, 3 seconds after. I remember the first time I realized this. I was watching Revenge of the Sith for probably the 50th time. And I noticed something weird. In the movie, we see Ki-Adi-Mundi die first. Then Aayla Secura. Then Plo Koon. But that's not the real order. Based on galactic positioning and HoloNet speeds, Aayla Secura actually died first, about 30 seconds before Mundi. The movie shows it wrong because it's edited for drama, not accuracy. Think of it like a coordinated terrorist attack. The first targets get hit while they're completely unaware. The later targets might hear about the earlier attacks and have seconds to prepare. Those seconds matter. And here's the revelation that changed everything for me. Palpatine didn't just want the Jedi dead. He wanted them to die in a specific order. Core World Jedi first, to prevent any warning from spreading. Outer Rim Jedi last, because they were furthest from help anyway. It wasn't random, it was surgical. Most fans think Order 66 was about eliminating the Jedi. Wrong. Order 66 was about eliminating them in the right sequence to prevent any organized resistance. But once that signal reached the clone commanders, the real horror began. And it started with the most shocking betrayal of all. But here's something even more chilling about that 2.5-minute delay. Palpatine wasn't just composing himself, he was savoring the moment. Think about it. He'd been planning this for over a decade. Every clone bred for this purpose, every chip implanted for this moment. Every friendship between Jedi and clones is carefully cultivated. Now, it was time to pull the trigger, and he wanted to enjoy it. The transmission itself reveals Palpatine's genius. 3 simple words: execute Order 66, not kill the Jedi, not eliminate the traitors, just a number. Why? Because it sounds routine, official. Like any other military order, the clones receiving it don't question it. They don't hesitate, they just execute. But here's what most fans miss. Order 66 wasn't the only contingency order. There were 150 contingency orders total. Order 65 was to eliminate the Chancellor if he was deemed unfit. Order 37 was to capture key Republic officials. The clones knew about all of them. They'd been briefed on the contingencies, so when Order 66 came through, it didn't seem suspicious. It seemed like standard protocol. That's the real genius. Palpatine hid his master plan inside routine military procedure. Okay, picture this. You're Commander Cody. You've fought beside Obi-Wan Kenobi for 3 years. You've saved each other's lives countless times. You just handed him his lightsaber and made a joke. Then, your communicator beeps. What happens in the next 30 seconds will determine whether the Republic's greatest general survives or dies. And here's what most fans don't realize. This scene reveals the true horror of the inhibitor chips. Every betrayal was calculated for maximum effectiveness. Let me break down the Utapau betrayal second by second. At 0 seconds, Cody receives the transmission. At 3 seconds, the chip activates and all personality is suppressed. At 8 seconds, Cody turns to the ATTE crew. 10 seconds and he orders to blast Obi-Wan. At 15 seconds, the crew targets Obi-Wan on the cliff face. At 20 seconds, Obi-Wan is most vulnerable, riding his Mount Bogar. And at 30 seconds, the ATTE fires. 30 seconds. That's how long it took to end a 3-year friendship. But here's what's really chilling. Cody waited for the perfect moment. Obi-Wan was exposed on a cliff face, riding Boga completely defenseless. The chip didn't just make Cody betray Obi-Wan, it made him do it tactically. Now, you might be thinking, but Obi-Wan survived. True. But not because he was strong, because he got lucky. Each clone commander had to choose the perfect moment to strike. Too early, and the Jedi might sense danger. Too late, and they might receive a warning. They waited for moments of maximum vulnerability. Mid-conversation, during combat, while piloting ships. Let me show you the real sequence of deaths. At 4 minutes, 31 seconds after transmission in Felucia, Aayla Secura is watching a bird. She's relaxed, peaceful. Commander Bly receives the order. His chip activates. He doesn't hesitate, doesn't warn her, just raises his blaster and fires. The entire unit opens fire. Aayla doesn't even have time to ignite her lightsaber. At 4 minutes, 45 seconds on Megiddo, Ki-Adi Mundi is leading a charge across a bridge. He's focused on the battle ahead. Commander Bakara and his Marines are behind him. Perfect position. The order comes through. They fire. Mundi takes a blaster bolt through the stomach, falls in the snow. 3 years of partnership, and just like that, the Syrian Jedi legend is killed. At 5 minutes, 8 seconds on Cato Neimoidia, Plo Koon is piloting his starfighter. He's in the middle of a dogfight. His wingmen receive the order. They don't even need to change course. They just switch targets. From enemy ships to their general. Plo's fighter explodes in the atmosphere. But let me show you the most heartbreaking betrayal of all. 5 minutes, 23 seconds on Saleucami. Stas Ali is on patrol. She's riding a speeder bike through the desert. She's not in combat. She's not distracted. She's just doing routine reconnaissance. Commander Neo and his men are escorting her on bark speeders. The order comes through. Neo doesn't even slow down. He just turns his speeder's blasters toward Allie and fires. Her speeder explodes. She's dead before she hits the ground. No warning, no hesitation, just execution. But here's what makes this one different. Stas Allie was known for being kind to her troops. She remembered their names, asked about their families. Neo had served under her for 2 years. She'd saved his life on Ryloth. None of it mattered. The chip erased 2 years of friendship in an instant. Now let me show you something that'll make your blood run cold. The efficiency of these betrayals wasn't accidental. The clones had been studying their Jedi generals for years, not consciously. But the chips were recording everything, every habit, every weakness, every moment of vulnerability. When Order 66 activated, the clones didn't just turn on the Jedi. They used 3 years of intelligence against them. Ayla Secura liked to watch birds when she was relaxed. Bly knew this. He waited for that exact moment. Ki-Adi-Mundi always led from the front. Bakara positioned his men behind him for maximum effectiveness. Plo Koon was an aggressive pilot who focused intensely on targets ahead. His wingmen used that tunnel vision against him. Every death was personal. Every betrayal was intimate. The clones didn't just know how to kill their generals. They knew how to kill them efficiently. I used to think these deaths were tragic but random. Then I started mapping them out. Every single Jedi was killed at their most vulnerable moment. Ayla while distracted. Mundi while leading from the front. Plo while focused on enemies ahead. The clones didn't just betray them, they studied them. Learned their habits, their weaknesses. Then used that knowledge to kill them. It's like being assassinated by your own bodyguard. Someone who knows exactly when you're most vulnerable. When you let your guard down. When you trust completely. And here's what hit me like a ton of bricks. The clones were the perfect assassins because they weren't assassins at all. They were friends, brothers, trusted allies. The Jedi never saw it coming because the danger came from the people they trusted most. But wait, it gets worse. While Jedi across the galaxy were falling to their trusted allies, the most devastating assault was just beginning. At the heart of the Republic itself, where the youngest and most innocent would face the ultimate betrayal. 47 minutes after Order 66, something unprecedented happened. The Chosen One himself walked up the steps of the Jedi Temple. But he wasn't there to protect it. What happened in the next 2 hours and 37 minutes would determine whether the Jedi Order could ever recover. Because this wasn't just about killing Jedi. This was about destroying their future. The Temple assault wasn't random violence. It was a systematic extermination designed to eliminate every trace of the Jedi Order. Let me walk you through the timeline. 47 minutes after Order 66, Vader arrives. Anakin Skywalker, now Darth Vader, leads the 501 Legion up the temple steps. These aren't just any clones, these are his clones, soldiers who fought under his command for 3 years. They know the temple layout perfectly, every corridor, every room, every hiding spot. 52 minutes, the outer perimeter is secured. The 501 doesn't charge in blindly. They secure all exits first, no one gets out. The temple guards try to resist, they're cut down in minutes. 1 hour, 8 minutes, systematic room clearing begins. This is where it gets really dark. The 501 moves through the temple like a machine, room by room, floor by floor. They're not just killing Jedi, they're executing a plan. 1 hour, 23 minutes, the younglings. Here's something most fans get wrong. Vader didn't personally kill all the younglings. The 501 killed most of them. About 200 children gunned down by clone troopers. Vader only personally executed the 12 younglings in the council chambers. Think about that. Clone troopers who used to protect these children, who knew their names, who'd seen them training. Now they're shooting them down like targets. And here's the part that still gives me chills. Why it had to be the 501. They knew the temple better than any other unit. They'd been stationed there for protection. Now, that knowledge became a weapon. What made it so effective? Perfect intelligence combined with overwhelming force. The Jedi never had a chance. How it unfolded. Let me show you the key moments. 1 hour 31 minutes. Sindralik was the temple's battlemaster, the guy who trained Jedi in lightsaber combat. He faces Vader in the temple halls. This should be an epic duel, right? It lasts 23 seconds. Vader cuts him down like he's nothing. 1 hour 44 minutes. A 10-year-old Padawan named Zet Jukasa makes it to the temple steps. He's trying to escape. Commander Appo and his men surround him. This kid fights like a hero. Takes down 3 clone troopers, but there are too many. Senator Bail Organa watches from his speeder as they gun down a child. That's the moment the Republic truly died. When senators watched clone troopers murder children. 1 hour 52 minutes. Deep in the temple, a Jedi Master named Kelleran Beck heard the screams, the blaster fire, the chaos. He knew exactly what this meant. Beck rushed to the youngling creche. Most of the children were already dead, but somehow he found a small green child, Grogu. He grabbed Grogu and faced the clone troopers. This guy, they called the Sabered Hand, was about to earn that nickname. Dual lightsabers spinning, cutting down clone after clone. He reached a speeder bike. Beck raced through Coruscant with Grogu clinging to him. Clone speeders chasing, blaster bolts flying past their heads. And here's what blows my mind. Beck had backup waiting, Naboo security forces on a secret landing platform, which saved the little green Padawan. Without this one teacher's courage, there's no Baby Yoda, no Mandalorian, no future for the Jedi. 2 hours, 31 minutes. A group of younglings is hiding in the meditation gardens. About 15 kids between ages 6 and 12. They're not fighters, they're babies. The 501 finds them huddled together, terrified. Some of the clones hesitate, for just a moment. These are children they've seen every day for months. Kids who smiled at them in the hallways, but the chips override their hesitation. They open fire. 15 children, dead in seconds. After it's over, some of the clones just stand there, staring at what they've done. The chips control their actions, but they can't completely suppress their emotions. Some part of them knows this is wrong, but they can't stop themselves. And here's what's kind of crazy. The 501 didn't just kill Jedi. They also collected their lightsabers, their holocrons, their artifacts. This wasn't just an execution. It was a heist. Palpatine wanted the Jedi's knowledge, their secrets, their power. The killing was just step one. Even as the temple burned and the galaxy celebrated the Empire's birth, a few Jedi were mounting desperate escape attempts. Against impossible odds, with seconds to spare. And what they did next will shock you. Out of 10,000 Jedi spread across the galaxy, barely a few dozen survived the first day. The crazy part was that survival had nothing to do with power. Understanding who survived and why reveals the most important truth about Order 66. It wasn't about being the strongest Jedi, it was about being in the right place at the right time. The survivors shared 3 things: lucky timing, loyal allies, or pure dumb luck. Sometimes all 3. Let me show you the most incredible escape of all. At 6 minutes, 52 seconds after Order 66, Kashyyyk. Yoda is standing with Chewbacca and Tarful. They're planning their next move against the Separatists. Then, Yoda stops mid-sentence. He senses something in the Force. Death, betrayal, pain. Commander Greet and another clone trooper approach from behind. They're only a couple feet away, blasters ready. Here's the thing, Yoda doesn't turn around because he heard them. He turns around because he felt their intent change. The moment their chips activated, Yoda sensed it. 1.7 seconds. That's how long Yoda had between sensing the betrayal and the clones firing. He ignites his lightsaber, spins, decapitates both clones in one motion. 1.7 seconds to save his own life. Now here's where it gets really interesting. So why did Yoda survive? Because he was on Kashyyyk, an Outer Rim world with the longest transmission delay. Plus, he's the most Force-sensitive being in the galaxy. What made the difference? Those extra 6 minutes and 52 seconds gave him a crucial advantage. He sensed other Jedi dying before his own clones turned. And how did he escape? The Wookiees, Chewbacca and Tarful helped him reach an escape pod. Without them, even Yoda would have died. But let me show you an even more incredible escape. Ahsoka isn't technically a Jedi anymore, but she's with the 332nd Company when Order 66 comes through. Captain Rex receives the transmission, his chip activates. But here's what makes this different. Rex fights it. For 4.7 seconds, Rex battles his own programming, tears streaming down his face. He manages to say 4 words. Find him. Find Fives. Then the chip takes over completely. Ahsoka realizes what's happening. She releases Maul from his cell as a distraction. Chaos erupts. Maul tears through the ship. Clones are shooting everywhere. In the confusion, Ahsoka captures Rex and removes his inhibitor chip. They escape together when the ship crashes. This scene destroyed me the first time I watched it, because it shows something terrifying. The chips didn't just control the clones, they tortured them. Rex knew what he was about to do. He tried to warn Ahsoka, but he couldn't stop himself. Imagine being trapped in your own body, watching yourself betray your best friend, unable to do anything about it. That's what every clone experienced. The survivors were like people who missed a flight that crashed. Pure timing and luck, nothing more. But let me show you the most incredible survival story of all. Cal is just a Padawan, 13 years old. He's aboard a Jedi cruiser with his master, Jaro Tapal. When Order 66 comes through, they're in the middle of a mission, surrounded by clone troopers. The clones turn instantly, no warning, no hesitation. Jaro realizes what's happening. He grabs Cal and runs, but they're trapped on a ship. Nowhere to go. The clones are hunting them through the corridors. These are men who know every inch of the ship. Jaro is wounded, bleeding, but he keeps fighting. He gets Cal to an escape pod, but there's only room for one. He looks at his Padawan. He throws Cal into the pod and seals it. Then he turns to face the clones. Cal watches through the pod window as his master is gunned down. The last thing Jaro does is give Cal his lightsaber. A 13-year-old boy, alone in an escape pod, watching his father figure die. That's the real cost of Order 66. Not the strongest, they were the luckiest. Obi-Wan survived because he fell into water. Yoda survived because Wookiees helped him. Ahsoka survived because she wasn't technically a Jedi. Cal Kestis survived because his master threw himself in front of blaster fire. Power meant nothing. Location and timing meant everything. Everyone assumes Yoda and Obi-Wan survived because they were the strongest Jedi, but that's wrong. They survived because they were in locations with the longest transmission delays and had allies who could help them escape. Strength had nothing to do with it, but survival was just the beginning of their nightmare. The immediate executions were over, but Order 66's true impact was just beginning. Within 72 hours of Order 66, something unprecedented happened. The Jedi Temple, a symbol of peace for 25,000 years, became the Emperor's palace. But that was just the beginning. The real genius of Order 66 wasn't the killing. It was what came after. The complete erasure of the Jedi from galactic memory. And if you don't understand this part, you miss why Order 66 was the most successful operation in galactic history. Palpatine didn't just eliminate the Jedi. He eliminated the idea of them, made them into villains, rewrote 25,000 years of history. Let me show you how fast the galaxy changed. Day 1. Jedi are peacekeepers and heroes. Day 2. Jedi are traitors who tried to overthrow the government. Day 3. Jedi never existed. I'm not exaggerating. Within 48 hours, the Empire's propaganda machine was in full swing. HoloNet broadcasts showed evidence of Jedi corruption. Edited security footage of Jedi attacking clone troopers. The temple became a construction site, literally building the Imperial Palace on top of Jedi graves. But here's the really twisted part. The Empire spent more credits on anti-Jedi propaganda than they did building the Death Star. Think about that. They were more afraid of the Jedi's memory than they were of rebel fleets. And you know what? It worked. Why the propaganda mattered. Killing the Jedi wasn't enough. People had to believe they deserved to die. What the Empire did, they turned heroes into villains, made the galaxy grateful for their rescue from Jedi tyranny. How they did it: complete media control, rewritten history books, destroyed artifacts, made even saying Jedi dangerous. I used to wonder why Luke had never heard of the Jedi on Tatooine. I mean, there were 10,000 of them just 19 years earlier. Now I get it. The Empire didn't just kill the Jedi, they killed the memory of them. By the time Luke was born, the Jedi were already becoming myths. It's like erasing the internet, not just turning it off, making people forget it ever existed. And here's what blew my mind. Order 66 wasn't just about eliminating the Jedi. It was about eliminating hope itself. The Jedi represented the idea that good could triumph over evil, that the little guy could stand up to tyrants. Palpatine didn't just kill 10,000 people. He killed the galaxy's faith in heroes. Most fans think the galaxy quickly forgot about the Jedi. Wrong. The Empire spent decades actively making people forget. It took massive resources and constant propaganda. They were terrified the truth would come out. And you know what? They were right to be scared. Because understanding this timeline, this perfect sequence of betrayal and propaganda, it shows us something crucial about how evil really works, and why the rebellion was inevitable from the moment Order 66 began. But here's the most twisted part of the aftermath. The Empire didn't just erase the Jedi from history, they replaced them. Within weeks, Imperial propaganda was showing new heroes, stormtroopers saving civilians, Imperial officers bringing order to chaos. The galaxy didn't just forget the Jedi, they learned to love their replacements. And it worked perfectly. By the time Luke Skywalker was born, most people had never heard of the Jedi. Those who had heard of them believed they were villains. The Empire's greatest victory wasn't military, it was psychological. They convinced an entire galaxy that their saviors had been their enemies, that their protectors had been their oppressors, that Order 66 wasn't a tragedy, it was a rescue. Palpatine didn't just commit genocide, he made people grateful for it. That's not just evil, that's genius-level evil. And it shows why the rebellion took so long to form. People didn't just fear the Empire, they loved it. So there you have it, the complete chronological timeline of Order 66, not the Hollywood version, not the simplified version, the real version. 47 minutes from Palpatine's command to Vader entering the temple. 2 hours and 37 minutes to clear the entire temple. 24 hours to eliminate 99.7% of the Jedi Order. 72 hours to rewrite galactic history. Now you know why Order 66 was the most successful military operation ever conducted. It wasn't just about the killing. It was about the timing, the precision, the propaganda. But here's what I want to know from you. Based on this timeline, which Jedi do you think had the best actual chance of survival? Was it Yoda with the longest transmission delay? Or Obi-Wan on Utapau with terrain advantages? Or someone else entirely? Drop your answer in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay tuned to all things Star Wars. Until then, may the Force be with you, and thanks for watching.